We're going to take a little break. And while that is happening, we want to move the pews, that back set of pews, back a little bit. The tables will come out for the reception.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So yeah, this is just a few brief thoughts that I had on you. So I got to know Hugh over the 5 short weeks this past summer. I had just gotten back from a 5-month trip in the Middle East when I met him, and I was about to resume university in Montreal. So I didn't know him for very long, but anyway. He had hired me to basically sift through and organize his archives so that he could, more effectively write his memoirs, which he had, as a lot of you probably know, chosen to call Lost Causes. At first being intimidated by kind of the history and scope of his career, and as someone who myself is also interested in, politics and journalism, I was kind of surprised at how much we actually had in common. And basically on a daily basis, we would, for about an hour or so, we would set our work aside and just kind of sit down and shoot the breeze for a while. And I think that there were a lot of things. Well, I mean, there's always a lot of things going on in the world, but we had a lot to talk about, and I think that the kind of milieu of unresolved questions going on, that I guess has kind of characterized Hugh's career and lifetime, and that has grown just in these past few weeks. And I think that these questions are the main reason that Hugh chose to call his book Lost Causes. And I think he by no means felt that he had, I don't think, as he just said in the interview, I don't think that that it's a very kind of disparaging view. I don't think he obviously didn't feel like he had wasted his time. But that after 50 years in journalism, I think he was someone who was constantly astonished and even bewildered to find that the same basic principles of justice continue to be violated. And this was something that was almost impressive to me, in that he never really became jaded. We think of old journalists of the left as being characteristically cynical and pessimistic. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was a little pessimistic, but he wasn't jaded. Anyway, I just thought I'd read on the note of Hugh's approach to the media and his outlook. I just wanted to read a couple of brief passages from the introduction to his book, Lost Causes. He writes, I was always an innocent in a way. A great journalist, Robert Fisk, who has covered the Middle East for at least 3 decades, says innocence, which is different from modern-day faux optimism or hope, protects a journalist's integrity, if you can keep it. End quote. You have to fight to believe in it. Mostly for me, I think, I became an ever more infuriated bystander. One of the main subjects that Hugh and I discussed while I was working for him, at least when I couldn't cajole him into sharing his near-death experiences with me, were these discussions which mainly kind of had to do with the obligations of journalism, as he put it. And I think that better, or at least as well as anyone in the world, Hugh was extremely aware of unaccountability of the press as an institution. You know, he realized that you have to cover a story and write it before you can show it to the mainstream media and say, why have you been overlooking these injustices? And I think censorship and corporate influence in the media was quite rightly drove him completely nuts. And it was basically the opposite of, I think, what Hugh most wanted to see in his profession. I think he was someone who wanted to hold accountable and be held accountable by others. And which is why I would say that I think that Hugh's journalism is probably among the most, or at least the most responsible and uncompromised that I personally have ever known. So on that note, I just wanted to read another passage from the introduction to his book, which is probably trite and repetitive by this point, but in any case. He writes, "We as journalists are molders of public opinion. We are activists. We have a point of view. We have a vocation, and that is to change the official propaganda, hold elites to account, not revel in their celebrity status. We have a cause articulated in the second half of Dietrich Bonhoeffer's oft-quoted, to comfort the afflicted and to afflict the country." And that's all I just said.
This is something I just put together in the last week because I felt that I thought that if Hugh had all of you together like you are here now, he would want to get his message across to you just the way he always took every opportunity to get his message across. And so that's all I've tried to do with this footage. I've taken the interview footage and put it together in a way that I hope that he would want to get this message across again. Okay? Thanks.
Write a last word.
Yeah, or that she's in history.
Oh, thank you. It's funny we talk.